We're back. Our guest today, Monte Toon, 31 years, the graphic artist for Channel 8. And Monte, I've got a piece that you brought with you today. We're gonna let the folks behind the camera frame up,
See and what they think,
and to let the folks at home get an idea of what we're looking at. And this would be of Emily and Jason Spivey. Emily, of course, is our very creative director, producer, editor here at Rogers State Public Television. And you did this when and what's the event?
Last week, this couple, they were married in our RV, Sam, over in Eureka Springs.
Did you drive them on their honeymoon?
No, no. But we furnished the wedding chapel for them. And Emily wanted a painting. She'd been admiring my work for years and decided that this would make a decent painting in their home. So,
well, you've got more material to share.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thrilled to death you were able to bring that in. The first time Emily got to see it was today. Let's go back to some more work,
right.
and you tell us what we're seeing, and we're just going to breeze through as many as we can.
Right, an old shack down on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. You see, we travel a lot, and I use my camera as a reference material gathering. We can't necessarily stay in one place long enough to paint these. This one has such strong memories for me. I was there with a fellow artist, Tony Van Hassel, a wonderful artist up in Maine, and this is called plein air. It's painting outside in the elements, and the ocean was right behind me. What a wonderful day this painting came out to be. Louisburg in northern Nova Scotia on Cape Breton, an old English or French fort. I do this a lot. These are two elements. The inside image is one, and then the lady is another one. She was out on the courtyard watching a couple of men load a musket, and I put the two of them together. It's called Quiet Thoughts. Very typical painting of what I like to do, and I think, Sam, that gets back to what you made reference to, a longing, maybe a longing for childhood in memories of being in this home with the wagon and all of that.
And every child that ever had access to a radio flyer,
lucky kid,
could put all their important stuff in it.
Absolutely.
A frog, a baseball, bubble gum, a catcher's mitt, whatever was important, and take their world with them in their radio flyer. But where's the child? You know that child's somewhere around.
Well, maybe our RV is our wagon now. We put everything in it and hit the road and enjoy it.
Good point. Good point. Next one.
Oh, the salt block. Very detailed. This is one of 50 original paintings I did. I had a solo show with 50 original full sheet watercolors, and having that show did so much for my career as a watercolorist. It gave me enough material to have solo shows and begin to teach, which I do now. I teach workshops and private lessons. It's a nice painting from up in Maine. We love that state. Boy, there's so much reference material up there. It's just Christmas every day.
And terrific food.
Oh, yeah.
I do love fresh seafood.
Chris Almby from Mena, Arkansas. He lived out in the West Coast, and he came back to this area to be a part of the Civil War reenactments. It's called The Music Man. He's got a tambourine down below his feet there. My dad had one of those harmonica things like that. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, this old gentleman was a storyteller far north as you can go in Newfoundland. We were up there 3 years ago, and it was in August, and we had on long coats and long handles, and this fire felt really good.
Before we go to the next one, Monte, I want to come back to the two of us, and there's something else I want to share with the folks that you were responsible for. The man is multi-talented, and this is an example. I'm going to hold this up where you can get a shot of it. Asylums Bridge is a book that he's written, and I'll call it fiction, although I have my suspicions. A very close friend once told me, if you're going to write, write about what you know. And I have to confess, I got my hands on the book late, but I'd like to know where this girl came from. And I'll read you the cover. Story of a young girl in the turmoil of religious fanaticism as it forbids the love she so desperately seeks. You knew this girl, didn't you?
Yes. I knew her, and I knew the gentleman, the young man that was with her. Sam, probably the biggest part about this book is I wrote that in 4 months while I was working full-time. Now think about that. You're working a 40-hour week and you write a book in 4 months?
Yeah, it's
How is
impossible.
that possible? It's possible if it's in you and you just furnish the emotions, and it writes itself. I knew the beginning, I knew the end. It's just a matter of bringing the pieces together. But what was the inspiration was 9/11. I started this a month after 9/11, and the book is set during the Civil War, but it has a lot of the same elements and influence that took place at 9/11 that caused that to happen in this book.
And one of the things that catches your attention right off the top, every child I've ever known, friends I had when we were all growing up, everybody had a secret friend, a secret playmate. It comes to light in this book. I highly recommend this. I haven't even finished it, but you got to get a copy. It's called Asylums Bridge.
Let me tell you, we tried to get a publisher, and you jump through so many hoops, that all writers. I'll tell you, Sam, one of the biggest things about the creative arena, be it whatever, music, theater, dance, writing, whatever it is, doing that is the most enjoyable, and usually not, and I don't mean an easy, but maybe easy part of it. But then you hit this brick wall called marketing, and how do you get it out there? How do you get it to the people? We tried with this, and I say we, Belinda's my wife, very much involved in my career.
I met her, delightful lady.
53 years we've been together. How about that?
Well, you'd think it would last.
Yeah. But we put this together, and we were so determined that we're going to do this. We self-published this. We found a company down in Florida that printed 300 copies for us at a price that we could afford. We sold those 300 just ourselves, ordered another 300 and sold those.
What does that tell you?
Well, it's got validity. I had a minister tell me that he gave this book to 3 of his members of his congregation to read and digest.
You need to send this to Sundance.
Yeah.
And let the folks at Sundance take a look at it.
But anyway, where we are right now,
here.
I've got maybe 3 more copies left, and we won't republish unless we find an outlet for it or somebody that will pick it up and run with it.
It's worth the read.
It was worth
Thank you
doing it.
for giving this. There's a lot of inspiration there. We have a few more pieces to show of your work before we waddle on out of here.
The Way We Were, that's a combination of 2 elements. I was asked to do a watercolor workshop on moving water, so I had to learn how to paint moving water, and this was one of the paintings for that. I really like that painting.
Oh, I love this.
That's just a little wind chime in a little shop. The gentleman was up in Maine, and he had gone to lunch and left the doors open on his shop, and there's so many things around there to take pictures of, but the color of that wood chime, it was awesome.
I hate to interrupt you. I will tell you flat out.
All right.
My 2 favorite, the one that has the radio flyer wagon, and the other is where you're inside the boathouse looking out. I love those 2 pieces. Very quickly, you have a show coming up?
I have a show currently at the Conical Gallery in the Student Union of the Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology. That's in Okmulgee, and it runs until the 16th of December. And I think I've got about 22 pieces in there.
Folks can also buy while they're there.
Sure.
Monte, thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
I feel like I'm shaking hands with history. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. Thank you for coming in. That's all the time we have for this edition of Perspective. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.